Anyway, Matt the Matt here. Hope you're doing well. So we've been hearing a rumor this week. We got a new Spider-Man movie coming out. Spider-Man brand new name this July. We still don't have a trailer. I don't know why. Why? No Spider-Man trailer? Is it Spider-Man no more? No more trailers for Spider-Man? I don't know. But we're getting ready for the trailer. We know that John Bernthal is going to return as the Punisher, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. We're going to have the guy who played the Scorpion in Spider-Man Homecoming returning. And we know that Zendaya coming back as MJ. Battlone as Ned. I forget his first name. And, this is going to be we just found out this is going to be 4 years after the last movie. I don't know why, because technically 4 years would mean he would be out of college. So, I thought this was looking at college years. I don't know. Anyway, but the rumor right now in the sphere is that Kiernan Shipka is going to be introduced as the new Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I think this is a great choice on several areas. Number one, in the comics, in the actual comic, Spider-Man or Peter Parker does meet Gwen Stacy in college. So if he is going to be somewhat in college in this movie, maybe he's only going to be a senior. I don't know. It would be great for him to be introduced to a new love interest, especially if it's true that it's been 4 years since the last movie, and he hasn't been in contact with MJ, if he wiped away his memory, or wiped away everyone's memory of him at the end of No Way Home. It would be nice, we see Zendaya now in 3 movies. You know what? We need a new love interest, And actually, with the way this new Tom Holland iteration of Spider-Man has come about, they could flip it in this iteration. Like I said, we saw in the last movie, it wasn't Uncle Ben to tell Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. It was Aunt May. And we didn't see Uncle Ben die. We saw Aunt May die by the Green Goblin. So, stuff like that. So it actually would kind of be cool if maybe even in one of these movies, MJ, Zendaya, dies, and Gwen Stacy actually becomes the real love interest, instead of like in the comics, where she gets killed by the Green Goblin. I'm just saying. But going back to Kiernan Shipka, I think she would be a great choice. I really like her. She's very underrated. She started out on Mad Men as Don Draper's daughter, Sally Draper, with John Hamm. And she was a child in that show. Kind of like Dakota Fanning starting out in I Am Sam with Sean Penn back in the early 2000s. And she's been working her way up ever since. She's been in movies, she's been in other TV shows, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch on Netflix for 3 seasons. She's been in movies, some of them on Netflix, like Let It Snow, The Silence. She's also done movies on Amazon, like Totally Killer, that came out, that was near the end of 2023. She just did a movie called Wildflower, that's on Hulu right now. That was also really good. She was very good. And she has this look that she's not drop dead gorgeous, but she's attractive. And I mean that in the best possible way of, she fits that mold of, especially for like a Peter Parker, a nerdy kid, he's going to know this and be like, wow. And she's blonde. She's, has the look of Gwen Stacy. Well, then you watch a lot of her movies and the type of character that she plays. She can be direct. She can also be a little bit stubborn. She can be, I don't want to say have a little bit of an attitude, but, stand up for herself. If you're going to talk shit, I'm going to fire it right back. And that might be interesting for Gwen Stacy, to kind of give her a little bit of a different context. Almost like, the great thing about The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield was Emma Stone. As Gwen Stacy. I still say to myself, even though the Amazing Spider-Man movies aren't as great as the Tobey Maguire ones, or even the Tom Holland ones, some of them, I can at least say the best thing about those movies, and it's still pretty high when it comes to all comic book movies, is the Gwen Stacy Peter Parker relationship was rock solid. The chemistry is almost unmatched. And if you can get like a Kiernan Shipka and Tom Holland to have great chemistry for Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker, that would be gold. So, like I said, we don't know if this will be true unless they show her in the trailer, or once again, it could be as simple as she's in the movie, but we don't see her till like the last scene in the movie to set up the next movie. Oh, a new love interest. Hey Peter, I want you to meet my friend Gwen Stacy. Or, hey, he goes back to his apartment, and he realizes a new neighbor has just moved in next door. She comes out of her apartment, and it's Gwen Stacy. We don't know. And who knows? We'll see. But let me know, would you like to see Kiernan Shipka as the new Gwen Stacy? I mean, I do feel like they need to bring in a new love interest. We've had MJ for 3 movies. I mean, they had Betty Brant, played by Anne Glory Rice, in the first 2 movies of Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, and they really didn't have them get together, even though they get together in the comics. So bringing in like Gwen Stacy, a pretty famous character outside of MJ when it comes to Spider-Man, would work. Let me know in the comments below. Matt, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.